with her thought process was, well, if there's no rein to root against, then the horse isn't winning. But what she didn't realize was the horse is winning because it can do what it wants with its head. You need to do what you want to do with that horse's body at all times. If you can't, then you have a hole in training that's going to come back and be a problem later. We had rain all day yesterday, and the cold front came through last night. High today, yesterday was about 70. High today, I think it's 41, and that happened at sunrise this morning because of all that weather. All the horses, most of the horses, have been in for the last 24 hours. So I'm not sure how much we're going to get accomplished with Sunita today, but we'll see. See what we can do. I'm sure the ones from Montana think it's just another day. Still not as cold as what they're used to. Actually not too bad so far. We'll see when I start trotting around. When we have these big temperature swings like this, we feed everybody loose salt. I know some people feed loose salt every day, and depending on your climate, your environment, that might be the right thing to do. But like in ours, we were in the 70s yesterday, low 70s. I was wearing a short sleeve shirt. Right there, she's tossing her head. I'm gonna take her in a circle, put a little leg on her, send her forward, 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 forward. Make sure when she's tossing her head, I put spur on. That's really important. I was doing a video lesson the other day with somebody, and their horse was misbehaving a little bit, kind of like her, for the same reasons. And that was one of the things that we talked about in the video lesson. Go ahead and put leg on, move the horse's body around. You see how just as soon as I gave her something to do, she came to me. When I was walking around talking and not really giving her anything to do, her mind was bouncing around, starting to think about what she wanted. But anyways, back to the salt. When you're in a part of the country where it stays cold, then probably salt every day is the right thing to do. In that situation, your water temperature and air temperature and everything, let's go ahead and get her trotting a little bit, stays cool. So I can see where that'd be the right thing to do. But for us, Saturday, we were able to ride and make the horses sweat pretty good. And for us, it works better to give them salt when we have that cold front come through, because they drink fine when it's warmer, but they don't like drinking when it's water has that cold layer on top. And I was just talking to my vet last week, wanting him to come out here and do some routine stuff, and he had to reschedule because he was full with colic calls. And that's a common issue in my part of the country when we have these cool fronts come through. So when she came in, I talked about she really wasn't as soft on my hands as what I thought she should be. And I made the comment that I wasn't sure if they had worked it and she was just not wanting to be a soft horse, or if they hadn't worked it, hadn't got to that. And she has, in the couple of weeks I've had her, she's not as soft as I would like her to be, but she's definitely getting softer. So my impression is I think that it didn't work it that much. See right there, she's coming off of my hands with my legs. I do use a lot of leg to work on that softness. Steer right there, it's just sliding off to the left, so I'm going to take and do a counter bend, move that left shoulder over, and then come back around. I'm wanting to leak off to the barn, Another counter bend off my left leg. There we go. Let's go the other way. That little maneuver is very helpful when you have a horse that kind of pokes the shoulder out, leaks out. The barn is right there. My covered arena is connected to the barn, and her stall is right there. So there is always that magnet going back to the stall. And I ride with the gate open most of the time, unless I'm working with a very green horse. Because I want to be able to fix that, there we go, fix that magnet. And it doesn't matter if it's the stall, the barn, buddies, their pasture. You're always going to have some magnet somewhere. And that is a great way to work that magnet, because if she's pushing her shoulder out to the right, and I just keep pulling this left rein, she's going to keep going out, going out, going out, and then she's going to end up over right there, overbent and just sliding out, and I'm not going to have control of those shoulders. But if I work on the bend, counter bend, bring the shoulder over, which is the problem there. That's the part of her body that's not obeying. I'm fixing the magnet. I'm fixing her wanting to go to the stall. But I'm also using a cue that I'm going to want for my spins, leg yields. I'll use that. That's the first part of my lead changes. That's the first part of my lope departures. That's a cue that I'm going to need a lot. And if I can get a counter bend, if I can get that shoulder to move away from the magnet, then I know that I have that cue trained and the horse is obeying. Because if I come around and the horse is wanting to go to the stall and I can't get that, then I know I need to work on it more. I'm not going to avoid any magnets. I'm not going to avoid any issues. I'm not going to avoid any scary objects. Never avoid any of those things. If something comes up and it needs to be worked on, work on it. And I'll work on it at that time if it can be. You can't always work on it that time depending on your tack setup, just where the horse's mind is. But if I can, I'm going to work those magnets. I'm going to work those issues right then. Because if I don't, the horse gets away with it that one time, then that's encouraging the horse to try harder next time. I was talking with somebody yesterday, I believe it was, and they were having trouble with the horse pulling on their hands. The horse was sticking her nose down and rooting on their hands. And the way she first handled that issue was she gave the horse plenty of rein. With her thought process was, well, if there's no rein to root against, then the horse isn't winning. But what she didn't realize was the horse is winning because it can do what it wants with its head. You need to do what you want to do with that horse's body at all times. If you can't, then you have a hole in training that's going to come back and be a problem later. If I can't move the horse's body any way I want to move it, then that is a piece that horse is going to use to get what it wants later. To get out of work, to go to his buddies, run off with me, but whatever that might be, that's going to be that one piece that horse is going to use to do what it wants to do that bad behavior. If I have all those body pieces or those body parts trained and I can control them, then I've taken all those holes away. This isn't just for show horses. All this body control, this isn't just for reining horses, dressage horses. This is for getting a horse broke. And if you can't control all the body parts of your horse, you have a hole in your horse's training, that will be a problem later. So if you having an issue with your horse about any of those holes, horse is running out on its shoulder, horse is rooting on your hands, that's a hole that needs to be fixed. And if you want to, I do video lessons. You can contact me through Patreon to set up video lessons. I even have one of my membership levels where you get a free video lesson a month. That might be something that you'll want to consider. And I also, where this is the first Monday in January, starting off the new year, this is the time of the year to be getting set up to send your performance horses to me for training. Normally, you want to get them started in around January or February to get them going in their training and get them, whether it's a cow horse, reining horse, ranch riding horse. This is the time of the year to get set up to send them in for training. So if you're interested in that, you can message me or email me, and I'll be glad to help you. This is Sunita. I have more videos of her. She's coming along really, really nice. Softening my hands. As you see, the body control is coming along good. She's been in the stall for 24 hours and went straight to work. This is a nice horse. This is going to be somebody one day. Still not decided whether it's going to be ranch riding, reining. She seems real interested in cows. I might even try her on cows and see how that goes. She does have a lot of cow breeding in her. A lot of she's bred similar to Gigi and Bob. Gigi on the top, Bob on the bottom. Both of them really like working cows. So I'm going to give her a chance and see what she thinks. So I'll have a link here somewhere to her playlist on YouTube. Until next time, thank you for watching.